I was living in New York and had gone for my regular mammogram, and they had found a lump and asked me to have further diagnosis. I did that, and it turned out that it was cancerous, but it was an early stage, so I was had the surgery. The year later, the other breast, the same thing. So I went through the same process all over again. And my company that I was working for was very generous to me and allowed me a month of recuperation each time. From there, I just moved on, and about a year later, I ended up with lymphedema in my left arm. And from that time on, I have been working and surviving and trying to not let it affect my life. And I think I've done well with it. I've had some very good therapists, but I also was working at the same time and traveling a great deal as a sales director for my company, same company that was generous to me. I spent 20 years traveling and in and out of hotels, airplanes, traveled with the pump, did everything. I tried it all. And I retired after 20 years. I moved to Pennsylvania, and I found Fox Chase Cancer Center outside of Philadelphia. And I was getting massage therapy because there really, believe it or not, was nothing in New York that I could even attach myself to see whether it would come down. And I started working with a gal and stayed with her, and it did improve. But of course I wrapped and I wore the sleeve and the glove. I would say now about 3 years ago, I was told of a surgery that would be possibly for me regarding my lymphedema. I checked into it, and the surgeon, Dr. Eric Chang, was at Fox Chase and was given the okay by Dr. Chang that it would be advisable and that he felt after 20 years he could do the lymphovenous surgery on me. I will say today that my arm is down 80% and I feel very good about it. That they didn't say there was a possibility of getting lymphedema when they took so many lymph nodes. I was not happy about the fact that all of a sudden my arm started to swell and I didn't know what it was. And when I went back to the surgeon, he said, "Oh, well, I guess you've got lymphedema." So I've tried to fight through the years with Medicare to recognize lymphedema as a, what can we say, not a disease, but it is a situation that women go through after breast surgery. Some do, some don't. I did. But they don't want to recognize it. If I had a burn, they would say, fine, I'll give you a sleeve, it'll be 80% whatever, but nothing. So I hope someday we will see that turn around. Many times on my journey through business and would go into agencies that I worked with, the ladies would always say, "Why are you wearing a sleeve? Do you have carpal tunnel?" And I'd say, "No, it's lymphedema." And they'd say, "What's that?" So I felt as if I had two jobs. One, to satisfy myself and hopefully women would listen, and the other was to do my job. So, and support groups, well, that was few and far between too. I covered Canada, and at one point a gal said to me, "We have a support group for lymphedema. Would you come and talk to us?" And I did. It was wonderful. They were very pleased that they could learn more from someone in the States, because they too were having problems. So I felt as if through the years I've been able to help, or at least be there for women with lymphedema. And ask them to make sure they spoke to their surgeon to see how much they know. Then dig in more for yourself, just to be on the safe side. And be aware of the possible condition that may appear out of nowhere. I know a lot of gals who never had lymphedema until 10 years later, and they couldn't figure out why. So it's a matter of just making sure that you're aware of what you're getting into.